nice round of applause. Zenshin, Daiko, Zenshin.
Imagine shopping for a new car in a friendly environment. A showroom sparkling with quality and reliability, filled with sleek, shiny, irresistible, and affordable must-have vehicles. Yet no high-pressure salespeople, only courteous customer assistance with aloha spirit. This is the reality at Maui Toyota. Come discover the difference. Test drive the new Toyotas at Maui Toyota, 320 Hana Highway, Kahului.
TJ's Warehouse, your Asian store, island style. A delicious world of Asian food and so much more. There's something here for everyone. Come discover what's in store. Maui's favorite monumento, poke bar and more. TJ's Warehouse, your complete grocery store. TJ's Warehouse, your Asian store, island style.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, with that, we want to welcome you to an evening of gratitude, proudly brought to you by the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center. At this time, it's our pleasure to introduce tonight your host for the evening. How about a nice round of applause for Trevor Tokishi and Deidre Teagarden.
Aloha and welcome to the Nisei Veteran Memorial Center's 2022 annual meeting in person. Woohoo! My name is Trevor Tokishi, and I am living proof why you should not buy a tuxedo online. Them buggers at Amazon, they don't care about us guys with short arms and short legs. But no worry, small kind safety pins and duct tape, we good to go. And I'm stoked to be here because an evening of gratitude is the perfect theme for tonight's dinner. We are so grateful to all of you. You know, it's because of your support that the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center didn't just survive through the pandemic. We thrived, you know, and continue to share the values and the legacy and the vision of their Nisei veterans. And what better day to show our appreciation than today on Veterans Day? Are there any veterans in the house? I know there are. If there are any veterans, please stand. If you're able, raise your hand. Big round of applause for these men and ladies who have served our country. Thank you very much on this very special day. Thank you. Yes, yeah. Thank you. I am also very thankful to be co-emceeing with the ever-beautiful Deidre Teagarden.
That's exactly how I wrote it on the script. Thank you for reading it verbatim. You know, it's just wonderful to be here with you tonight, Trevor. Everybody in the room, your remarks were spot on. We're so grateful to have you. And let's give a big round of applause for Zenshin Daiko. So many of the performers that you just heard are actually legacy family members of our Nisei veterans. So it's really, really special to have them kick off an evening for us. And let's also hear it for Zeke Kalua. He gave some wonderful music during the cocktail hour, very 1940s. I felt like I was back in 1940. So thank you.
So our mission at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center is to ignite human potential by inspiring people to find the heroes within themselves through the legacy of the Nisei veterans. So tonight on your table, you'll find some little cards and little stories with all these veterans, and that we hope that you read and enjoy. And later on in the evening, we're going to hear about some more of the everyday heroes that they've inspired when we announced our Hero Award winners.
All right. And we just want to thank everybody for, like Trevor said, pulling us through these past 2 years of COVID. And it's just been an amazing year here in 2022 with the opening of the Stanley Izumigawa Resource Center on February 19th, with many thanks to so many people, so many of you in this room. Since the opening, we have held 12 workshops from shibori fabric dyeing, painting with Mallory Arazumi, ikebana classes, thank you, Mrs. Hanano. We've had 5 book signings signings, 16 movies, including a Studio Ghibli animation festival, and tomorrow's showing of Only the Brave, Maui's Sons and Daughters of the Nisei Veterans, at 1:30 at the center. We've had 10 in-person talks from Kathy Collins, Yakamashi, thank you, Kathy, to talks about enka and anime. We had one Frank Sinatra evening. Thank you, Warren Orikasa. Warren didn't sing. Thank you, Warren Orikasa. But he did bring over a wonderful Frank Sinatra singer from Las Vegas. We also had a modern dance recital, a preschool graduation, 2 intergenerational mornings with Uncle Wayne and his guitar, and we've hosted school groups, community groups, a visit from a congressman, and over 1,200 people have come through to see our internment exhibit, not to mention our 25 Zoom webinars. And that's just what we did at the center. So many of you were supportive of that, and we thank you very much. We have 3 great events happening this weekend, including the movie and a wonderful talk and lecture and exhibit opening by Shane Sato, his Portraits of Courage, the Legacy project. So please, we hope you can come and join us on Sunday. Let's give him a big round of applause. And I think he might have a special guest with him as well. So we hope to see you there. We also, this year, are focusing on our archives. Melanie and her team are digitizing everything in the archive. So it's going to be up on the internet, on the World Wide Web, for the entire global community to really understand what it means to be a Nisei veteran and that Nisei veteran Maui story. So thank you so much for all of your support. A big round of applause to all of you.
And again, none of this would be possible without your support. So at this time, I'd like to call up our board chair, Ms. Kyoko Kimura, to say a few words and thank our sponsors.
Wow, it's full house. And where's the red carpet? And I also need a waiter at my restaurant too. But the first time in 3 years is the social network trend wars now. But we also have so many firsts this year. Not only this in-person annual dinner, of course, is the first in 3 years, but we had the first golf tournament this year. Thank you. And all the board members worked really hard, especially Yokouchi family worked really hard to make that possible. Not only Jan, but John. For the first time, we had a booth at the Okinawan Festival at the Convention Center in Oahu. So thank you. And our outstanding Executive Director, DJ Teagarden, and very, very capable archivist, Melanie Agravante, attended this booth. For the first time, we are sending our director to the Hill at the Washington, D.C. Congratulations to Jill Tokuda. For the first time, we had a baby on the board. Congratulations to Rachel Owe. I think she's attending the baby tonight. And other hardworking board members are Grant Nakama, of course. Thank you. And Trevor Tokishi. Linden Josephine, is she here? She's the secretary. Peter Hanano is here with us. And Bo Maho is here. Colbert Matsumoto, I think he's still in Japan. I just saw him. Michael Munekio is here tonight. And Kathy Shimizu is here. Dana Yang. And Director Emeritus Leonard Oka is here too. Thank you. And we are really, really grateful for the continued support of the sponsors tonight. Our presenting sponsor is Arisumi Brothers, that table. The gold sponsors are CPB Foundation, the House Smart, Munekiyo Hiraga. The silver sponsors is AMB, thank you. And Island Insurance Foundation, Mahi Pono, Maui Sons and Daughters of Nisei Veterans, Napa Auto Parts, Pulamalanai. Thank you. Bronze sponsors are the Maui News, Maui Oil, Pasha Hawaii, and Zenshin Daiko, and many sponsors who donated the auction items, and of course the volunteers who worked really hard this afternoon. So with your support, we will strive to perpetuate the legacy of the Nisei veterans and inspire people to find a hero in themselves. I just came back from Japan and found that one of the reasons of this tremendous Nisei veterans legacy came partially from the very strict screening by the Japanese government when the Issei came here. So not only their physical strength, but they screened, they tested their intelligence and will and courage. So genetically passed on to the Nisei, those characters. I just hope that my husband doesn't outlive me. Because I was away for 2 weeks and I came back to found he lost 6 pounds. So I don't think he can survive. But anyway, just wanted to thank everybody who supported Nisei veterans. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Kyoko, and thank you for that job offer. I might take you up on that. So, of course, a fabulous event like this cannot happen without some amazing people doing a lot of hard work in the background. So, at this moment, please help me thank co-event chairs, Burl Bell. I think she's back there somewhere. Burl, you're going to be recognized. Kitty Yee. It actually says Catherine Yee, and I don't know who the heck that was, but it's Kitty Yee. Diane Orikasa. Thank you very much. Also, the entire Alpha, Data, Kappa, Gamma chapter. That's a tongue twister. Thank you very much. South Maui Silent Auction Chair, Lois Prey. Thank you. And the guy making us sound good up here, Zeke Kalua. Thank you, Zeke. Sei Design Group for putting together the program and all the marketing pieces. Maui Sons and Daughters of Nisei Veterans. The Chrysanthemum Court, which you'll get to know a little bit better later on. I think they're around scattered. And Maui Specialty Chocolates.
Everyone loves chocolates. We'd also like to recognize our distinguished guests with us this evening, starting with World War II Nisei veteran, Mr. Masao Motooka, who comes to all of our events, even the Frank Sinatra night. Mayor Victorino and his lovely, gracious wife, Joycelyn Victorino. Let's give them a big round of applause, huge supporters of our center. Representative Kyle Yamashita, best sign waiver. Representative Troy Hashimoto, Councilwoman Yukile Sugimura, the incomparable Shane Sato and his wife Claire, all the way from Japan, Ms. Emi Tamba of Nagoya University of Foreign Studies, a university with which we are partnering. Ann Kabasawa, the former president of the 100th Battalion Education Center over in Honolulu, and her husband Clyde Sugimoto doing some photography for us tonight. And of course, our wonderful, beautiful, gracious, lovely keynote speaker, Miss Tamlyn Tomita.
So at this time, it's my honor to welcome up to the stage a very dear friend of the center. You know, he and his wife, Joycelyn, who, by the way, was a chrysanthemum ball queen in her day. I won't read the year. You know, they've been huge supporters of the center since day one, you know, and because of his efforts, you know, we've been funded over $250,000 over the past 3 years, you know, to help with renovations and upgrades that was needed and keeping our programs running. So at this time, please help me give a warm welcome to the Honorable Mayor, Michael Victorino.
But don't you agree? Trevor would make a great maitre d' at our hotels, yeah? Come on, let's give Trevor a big round of applause. And a little bit more duct tape on the lower part, but that's okay. They make those suits for guys like me, not like him, you know, size-wise. You know, first of all, I want to welcome everyone this evening and thank you for attending this 23rd annual Nisei Veterans Memorial Center dinner. In person. Give yourselves a hand now because you can see each other, feel each other, and kiss each other. You know, for 3 years, or more like 2.5 years, we had COVID as our everyday living standard. And we were separated, not kept together. A lot of Zoom, blue jeans, all kinds of meetings. And I'm so happy that today we can be together again. This morning I was up at the Korean Veterans ceremony for the Veterans Day up at the Makwao Cemetery, and it was a wonderful evening. And I'm kind of taking tonight because this will be the last time I'll address you as their mayor. And you know, don't worry about it. God has a reason, and I move on, and I always look forward to what the new adventures. But you have been always special in my heart because the Nisei veterans amplified what America is all about, the struggle to make something of yourself and to go against all odds. And the Nisei veterans went through all of that. And then came home and made Hawaii a great state. And that's what I really love and admire all about the Nisei veterans. My father-in-law, Joycelyn's father, never spoke of the war. In fact, until he died and we cleaned out the room, we didn't know what was in there. He never said anything about what he did. But they served tirelessly, they served with dignity, with courage, but most important, they overcame the stigma. They were true Americans, and we got to remember that. And gratitude is one of the best words we can use tonight. But we also have some award winners, the Hero Award winners, and shortly I'll be presenting certificates to them. But let's recognize them right now. Valerie Matsunaga, legacy recipient. Valerie, where are you? There. Thank you, Valerie. Janna Hoehn, leadership recipient. Janna, where are you? Thank you, Janna. And now we heard them earlier, the Zenshin, Daiko philanthropy recipients. They'll come up. Let's give them a big hand, please. I'm very grateful for the opportunity to serve this county and serve you, the heroes, the real heroes of our county, the everyday people that make things happen. Find the hero in yourself, I agree. You know, I found the hero in myself and then he left town. But that's okay. I'll go look for him and bring him back. You guys are getting serious. I could see some faces like, oh my. Don't feel sorry for me because I don't. But you can be honored that you stand here as examples of selfless acts of service. It doesn't need to be dramatic. It's a simple like allowing someone else to go ahead of you. Like being honored as a kupuna, and there's a lot of us in this room tonight, so honor them all. And go ahead to with us at the traffic and a check-in line at the store and let somebody pass. You know, when I do that, I'm always amazed. Some people look at me like, what are you doing? What you doing? Go! You know what I'm saying? We've changed, and I like to see our old ways come back, the values we have. But be gracious, and tonight, for your favorite nonprofit, the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, give, and when it hurts, give more. Okay? So, Deetra, is that good? Perfect. That's the way she wrote it. Give, and when you're tired, give more. And I'll close with this. Never put yourself before others, because others should be put before you. I want to say congratulations to all. Thank you for letting me serve this county. And let's live by this example that Nisei has demonstrated. Let's live like that each and every day. God bless you. Arigatou gozaimasu. Mahalo.
Thank you very much, Mayor and Joycelyn. And we hope to see you at the center again soon. You're always there, so we can't wait for you to come back. All right, let's talk a little bit about the Chrysanthemum Court, the wonderful young ladies and gentlemen who helped you to your seats this evening, gave you the lei. The Chrysanthemum Festival, sponsored by the Maui Sons and Daughters of the Nisei Veterans, is celebrating 68 years this December 3rd at Kihei Community Center. Let's give them a big round of applause. The festival raises scholarship money through ticket sales to the event. And even though the past 2 years were canceled due to COVID, the Sons and Daughters were able to still give a total of $10,000 in scholarships to deserving Maui County High School students. The young men and women here this evening are all part of the Chrysanthemum Court, and they don't know that I'm going to say this right now, but I am sure that if you are interested, they could sell you tickets to the event for December 3rd. They could sell you 1, they could sell you 2, they could sell you 5 or 6. But the one who has the highest sales becomes the queen. So let's help them all out, and let's thank our Chrysanthemum Court.
So at this time, we want to take a moment to let these talented young ladies introduce themselves and talk a little bit about the experiences they've had in preparing for this festival. So first of all, please help me welcome to the stage Brianne Fukutomi, escorted by Ryo Yoshida. Where should I go? There's a lot of people.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, everyone. My name is Brianne Fukutomi. I'm the daughter of Don and Daryl Fukutomi, the granddaughter of Lee and Pamela Fukutomi, Francis and Valerie Kawano. I'm a sophomore at Baldwin High School. This is my escort, Ryo Yoshida. He's the son of Ricky and Cheryl Yoshida. And in the future, I plan to go to college and graduate with my master's in culinary arts and business management, then use my skills and knowledge to open up my own bakery or restaurant.
Thank you, Brianne. Next, let's welcome Caitlin Kitagawa, escorted by Drew Otani.
Hajimemashite. Good evening, everyone. My name is Caitlin Kitagawa, and I am currently a senior at King Kekalike High School. I have a passion for math and science, and I'm an active member in my school's STEM, National Honor Society, and Triumph Honor Society clubs. I am also an active member in the Lucky Clovers 4-H Club for 9 years. My hobbies consist of playing the trumpet and piano as a member of the King Kekalike School Jazz, pep, and concert bands. Over this past summer, I interned with an engineering startup company called Neuromaker, where I learned about coding and biomedical engineering. Next year, I plan to attend college on the West Coast and major in either engineering or mathematics. I'd like to thank my parents, Glenn and Kathy Kitagawa, and my escort, Drew Otani, for supporting me throughout my journey as a candidate for the Chrysanthemum Festival. During the past few months, I have learned so much about the 100th Infantry Battalion, 442nd Regimental Combat Team, and Military Intelligence Service. It was an honor to learn about the bravery and sacrifice of these men. Thank you to the Maui sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans for giving me this opportunity, and I thank you for your support of this organization. Yoroshiku onegai shimasu. Thank you.
Thank you. Next, how about a warm welcome for Emi Sato, escorted by Christian Endo.
Aloha and good evening. My name is Emi Sato, daughter of Michael Sato and Christina Toshikiyo of Kahalui. This is Christian Fernando, by the way, my escort. I am currently a junior attending Maui High School. This year, I was fortunate enough to receive the opportunity to be a part of the court of the Chrysanthemum Festival to support the perpetuation of the Nisei veterans and their sacrifices and legacy they left behind. Through this, though this is technically my first real year of high school due to COVID, I love being a part of the marching band and the concert band and the symphonic band, where I play the flute and the oboe. I'm also the band secretary and the flute section leader, and I'm a representative in the Hawaii State Student Council and the Maui District Student Council. In the future, I would like to attend a 4-year university on the mainland to study architecture and construction management, and hopefully work at Disneyland. Thank you so much for coming out tonight. Make sure to support the Nisei veterans.
Thank you. Last but not least, please help me welcome Ava Takahama, escorted by Maui Kalei Kaumaka Roback.
Aloha. My name is Ava Takahama. My parents are Michelle and David Takahama from Makawao. My escort is Kalei Kaumaka Roback, who attends Kamehameha Schools Maui. I am a junior at Kamehameha Maui, and I am very glad to have been chosen to represent my school in this year's Chrysanthemum Festival. I represent my school in a variety of ways, such as sports, judo, and air riflery, which I have both gone to states for, as well as in a variety of clubs, such as the Women's Empowerment Club and Hui Aloha Aina o A'apueo. I am very proud to have been chosen. I'm very proud to be working with the Maui sons and daughters of the Nisei veterans and to raise money for their various causes and scholarships. I'm very honored to be here and honored to gain this experience. Mahalo.
Very impressive. If it were up to me, you'd all be queens. How about another round of applause for the entire Chrysanthemum Court? Thank you guys. You guys can sit down. So I know what you're thinking. Can we just get this short guy off the stage so we can eat? So without any further ado, I'd like to call out board member Michael Mutakio to share the invocation.
Thanks, Trevor. Good evening. Let me just unfold this. You know, regardless of how we each embrace faith, in the spirit of unity and harmony, may I ask that we either bow our heads or place our palms together in gratitude. We are gathered for an evening of gratitude, a time to find inspiration through the legacy of the Nisei veterans, a time to reflect upon our diverse yet interconnected personal histories, a time to separate ourselves, however briefly, from the complexities of daily living. A time to find comfort and compassion in friends and family around us. A time to consider the past, the hardships, the sacrifices, the inequalities. A time to be grateful for what we have today because of those who endured the hardships, who made the sacrifices, and who suffered at the hands of inequality. As we experience each unrepeatable moment this evening, let us be mindful of our Nisei, who more than 80 years ago sacrificed on the battlefields, in internment camps, and here at home in Hawaii. Let their selflessness serve to remind us that the prejudices arising from our human imperfections can be quieted through the vision of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, and that is acting selflessly for the greater good. With these thoughts in mind, let us prepare to receive this wonderful meal, which is a gift of life. May we share its benefits with all beings. As we partake of this food, let us receive with open hearts Amida's infinite wisdom and compassion, which surrounds all people and all forms of life. Namo Amida Butsu. Itadakimasu.
At Napa, we keep things moving. If it has wheels and an engine, we help keep it on the road. And if it's on the road, we have parts for it. And if you need a part, you can get it fast. At Napa, when we're not thinking about cars, we're thinking about the people who drive them. Because when it comes to serving you and our community, our motor never quits.
All right. The silent auction is officially closed. We want to thank everybody who participated, and we hope you all got what you want. I feel like Jeannie Skog probably outbid me on a couple of things, but that's okay. It's all for a good cause. As we gently come back to our seats, we're going to start the program for this evening. We're going to start with a very, very interesting talk by our keynote speaker, Tamlyn Tomita. This year, our speaker is going to do something a little bit different that we haven't done in the past. She really wants to make a point of getting out there in the crowd. I'm going to call up Peter Hanano to give us a little bit more information about that and to introduce our keynote speaker. But please help me welcome Peter Hanano. He is on our board of directors. He is also the one he's in charge of all the facility issues. So every time there is a facilities problem, like the windows don't shut, the gates don't work, the doors are, falling off the hinges, we call Peter and he comes down from work and he fixes it all. We couldn't do it without Peter. So another round of applause for Peter Hanano.
Thank you, Deidre. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Tonight, I have the honor of introducing our keynote speaker. She is the daughter of a Nisei veteran and Issei mother, and she feels more like a dear friend than a Hollywood movie star. After all, we all grew up with her. She was Kumiko from Karate Kid 2, and of course, Cobra Kai, Waverly in the Joy Luck Club, and Mary Takata in Only the Brave, just to name a few. Her movie, television, and theater credits are extensive. And as engaged as she is on screen, she is equally active as a voice for the Asian American Pacific Island community, uplifting and inspiring us all. Her current project and passion enables many more voices to be heard. It is called The Outside in Theater and provides storytelling experiences for those who don't get a chance in a commercially driven LA. It gives opportunities, access, and training to storytellers from across the board. Its vision is building the world we want to see by producing daring, dynamic, and authentic untold stories by unheard voices. Indeed, our keynote speaker is very busy, but she has graciously taken the time to be with us tonight. It has been about a decade since she was last on the Valley Isle. So, without further ado, please join me in welcoming our friend, Tamlyn Tomita, with aloha and a warm Maui welcome.
Hey. Oh my God. And this is the first time I'm going to meet this gentleman. Oh my God, mahalos. Thank you so very much. That's so sweet of you. Thank you. Thank you, everybody. Mahalos, Peter, again, for introducing me with those warm and kind words. And thank you for everybody for your warm aloha. It's so strange when I entered the room to see so many people here. And for those of you who don't know, the Go for Broke Foundation in LA, Go for Broke Educational Center, I think is the correct term. They just had their evening of aloha on Friday, or Saturday. And so I asked Deidre and I asked Leonard, go, hey, so what's this evening called usually? I go, oh, it's evening of gratitude. So like how the 100th is always like, you know, the 100th Infantry Battalion is like overshadowed by the 442 Regimental Combat Team. It's like the Go for Broke people in LA take evening of aloha from you folks here, and you graciously take evening of gratitude, but that is the spirit of why we are here, to recognize the efforts, the sacrifices, the service of our Nisei veterans. So I extend to you, because I've always been speaking, when I get the opportunity to speak or to MC, I always consistently, persistently, and Shane Sato will attest to it, that I always ask everybody in the room to say aloha at the count of 3, but to specifically look at the person next to you so you can exchange the energy, that spirit, what that true meaning of that word is. It's I love you, thank you, goodbye, welcome. It's that word that I always embrace as an American that says it encapsulates so much in one simple, sweet-sounding word that is full of that feeling, that spirit. So I invite you all, this LA girl who kind of has a kind of okay pidgin accent, thank you, Pat Morita. Thank you, Pat Morita. And just because we're all gathered in one room, I got to be invited by Deidre Tiergarten to come here and address you and just to talk story a little bit. When they say guest speaker, it's like, oh, you make me sound so important. I'd rather just like talk story to get to know you all, as you've always attested your aloha, your warm spirit, and to give it back to you, this LA girl, to give it back to you. I always try to infuse my speaking, my talks, my lectures that Shane Sato is going to give for his book about Portraits of Courage on Sunday, about what it really means. You folks, you guys, you brothers and sisters, you really embody it because you live it every day. And so I invite you, because we are all gathered in the room after 2.5 years of COVID, just to say aloha to one another, and just to say, you know, whatever that meaning is, I love you, thank you, especially for tonight, in all gratitude. Aloha. So let's do that all together. 1, 2, 3. Aloha. See, oh my God. Whenever I'm in LA, they go, aloha. And I go, no. It's not aloha. And they go, no, it's aloha. And it's like that kind of sing-song, that kind of musicality. Again, it's that warmth. And so they're all trying, you know, they all wear their and thank you, Deidre, and to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center for my beautiful lei that matches my dress. This was not planned. So I think I have plumeria and I have roses. No, ginger flower, I think so. And so it matches my, and it was not planned. So I just really want to thank you for this this true gift of spirit and aloha. But I have so much to talk about, but I really want to speak a little bit from the podium, because we're here on Veterans Day, and we're always reminded to thank those men, to thank the boys for their love, for their sacrifice, for their commitment, for their dedication And the bottom word is their selflessness. Because selflessness means service. I just got back from Okinawa on Tuesday with my family for the Okinawa Taikai. Uchinanchu! And I know that so many of you Maui folks are from Hawaii. It's like, Tamashiro, Akamine, Higa. It's like, oh, Uchinanchu people again. So I'm Gushiken. So just to tell, just to cement that my aloha spirit comes from Okinawa directly. But in Japan, everybody, most of us Americans who go there go, oh, wow, the service in Japan is so good. And they get super mad if you tip them because they just say, that's service-u, service-u, service-u. What I've always come to mind when I recognize the efforts of my father, who was Army airborne paratrooper between the Korean and the Vietnam Wars. My brother is a retired lieutenant colonel in the Army, and my other brother is I forgot his rank, but he's a Marine, so I have to go ua and hua in my house because I have to recognize the Army and the Marines in my house, but I also have Navy. So my mother's half Filipina, so I have lots of Navy Filipinos in my, so salamat po. So I've got the Okinawan going, I got the Filipino going, I got the Japanese, but we're all Americans. And to say that we recognize the value of what it means to live in this country and the dedication, again, and the serviceness, the selflessness of gentlemen like Masao Motooka, as well as the other men and women who have served our country in all the service, in all the branches of our military. Thank you so very much for your service. Thank you so much from the very bottom of my heart for your selflessness, because you went beyond thinking of yourself. You went beyond thinking of what it means to be self-centered. We're all in the world now because we're all trying to take care of ourselves, because having gone through this 2-year period of COVID, it's like self-care, self-awareness, self-centeredness is not selfishness, because we're all in this circle together to recognize the individual, ourselves as one, but to be in this continual circle of what it means to be of an ohana, to be a part of a family, to be part of a community, to be part of a team, to be part of a battalion, of a regiment, of an organization, of a church, of a temple. This is what it means to be connected. This is what it means to be resoundingly recognizing the fact that we're all humans. We just went through an election. It's like Democrats and Republicans. Who win? Mayor Victorino, I saw your video clip the other day about how you apologized. You don't need to apologize, brah. You served the people of Maui, Molokai, and Lanai. Your work is done for this time. It's the next guy's turn now, so good luck with him. But for whatever you have in your journey, whatever chapters that are going to open up with you, and 46 years of marriage with Joycelyn, correct? You said 46. Also former chrysanthemum queen. So I just want to congratulate you. And again, thank you for your selflessness, for your service in serving these people here in Maui. So I just want to say, again, one more story that Leonard said that, Deidre said that Leonard Oka, Leonard, where are you? Where are you? In the back. In the middle, in the back. He was the one who brought, there you go. He was the one who brought in Pat Morita to open up, I guess, one of your first fundraisers for the Maui Vet, for the Nisei Vet Center, correct? Is that true, 1991? And so it all comes back. I'm so thankful for God, for Amida, for all the energies of this universe, because I'm here at this point in my life to share with you the connection of Pat Morita, Hawaii, Lane Nishikawa, Only the Brave, and what it means to be here standing on this podium, talk story to you. There's this series, I just met one of the girls who's running for Chrysanthemum Queen, and the father said, hey, can I take a picture with you, with my daughter? And he goes to the daughter, say, she's the one on Cobra Kai. And I go, see, this is a generational thing. I can tell that I'm getting old because she knows me from Cobra Kai, but He probably fell in love with me when I was in Karate Kid. That's 35 years. It's like, oh my God. Oh my God. But so I now know and I recognize the fact that I'm in a very, very special and privileged position to be here. And to acknowledge that with the resurgence of with Cobra Kai and the whole legacy of Karate Kid 2, Karate Kid 3, and now hopefully Karate Kid 4, well, hopefully Hilary Swank. But it was all due to the spirit of Miyagi. And I really have to say publicly, I do thank Ralph Macchio for really holding on to the tight legacy and the integrity of the bond of he and Pat Morita, as well as Daniel LaRusso and Mr. Miyagi, because that is the essence of that, the success of that series, is that mentor protege, is that kohai senpai kind of relationship, that teacher-student relationship that all of us have recognized. It is the spirit of the Karate Kid. The Nisei Veterans Memorial Center is much like that. We have Masao Motooka. We have our veterans here who have served in the other military branches throughout the other conflicts and in between times as well. We can actually ask them, go to those brothers and sisters and say, hey, what does it mean to serve? What does it mean to think outside yourself? That is the reason why I wanted to speak to this, because to raise money is always kind of like a boring thing, right, Mayor? It's like, oh, sorry, don't spill your coffee then. Okay. And to continually fundraise, right? For the board of directors consistently, to ask for money, to say onegai shimasu, to say please, could you donate, will you donate? It's because of the essence of having a place to be able to talk story with one another, to share lessons, to also remind the old buggers that they have a lot to learn too, because they keep on holding the phones and say, hey, how do you take a picture with this? We always know, my generation, we always said, hey, can you turn on the can you turn on the VCR, right? The VCR, the DVD, the CD. So now, again, to actually keep on consistently learning about each other is always in that circle of life, is always at that point of understanding that we are each individuals, but that we are connected to a ohana, we're connected on a team, we are connected in a circle. And that if we have the wisdom, if we have the open heart, get away from my pride. A lot is my lesson every day. It says, I don't know their story. I don't know her feelings. I don't know where she comes from. I don't know where he wants, what he wants. This is the kind of thing that I always like to see. These tables are literally in circles. We are here so we are able to look each other one in the eye and say, hey, look at what she's talking about. Is she making any sense? It's like, it's that kind of connection to be able to say, hey, I understand. I'm not sure that we are able to do so all the time, because Shane, you just told me half an hour ago about the speed of life here. Shane, Claire, and I are from LA, and it says, oh my God, it takes 4 hours to get a reservation at Mama's Fish House. It's like LA. Why do we come to Maui? It's because we honor the fact that you enjoy each other's company, that you enjoy each other's aloha, that you're able to really feel what it means to be a part of an island that is so warm, that is so heart-filled. It's so different from Oahu. Coming back from Okinawa, it's always so prideful to speak to all the other Americans who are coming in from California or Washington. Actually, I had a contingent of Okinawans from Zambia, Africa. So we have Ochinanchu in Africa as well. I'm always so proud to say Okinawa is like the Hawaii of Japan. And from what I know, that my first visit to Maui here was for my honeymoon to my first husband. His mother was here from Wailuku. That marriage ended, but that visit in that family was really heartwarming because it was vastly different from what I knew from Oahu. And I have no relatives in Oahu either. I'm truly an LA kotonk. I have no, so to be able to, to fake it, and people go, hey, what school you grad? And I go, oh, Pearl City. Yeah. See, you guys get it. They'll go, oh, that's why you talk so good. And I go, nah, brah. But it's the memory, the clear memory of my first and only visit to Maui was that it was so much more different from Oahu, from Waikiki, from Honolulu, from Aiea, from North Shore, because it was truly an island life. And to remind you folks that coming here and really being in this room and to feel it, to literally feel it through all your shy smiles. And this is the time I want to say, let's go down, Bo, to talk story with these people, because I just want to open it up for you to say, hey, who are you? You one big movie star. And I go, nah, I'm just a storyteller. I just want to hear stories. I'm going to tell you my story if you're interested. So I just wanted to open it up and say, ask me anything you like. I know shame. I will answer it as best I can, and I know that there are people out there who are burning with questions. And if you want to take a picture, that's fine too. But I have the help of Bo to ask any questions. And no, be shy. Just raise your hand and I'll run to you, because this is the kind of, you got to press it on?
Oh, we have
hey,
sound.
There you go.
Aloha, everyone. My name is Bo Mahoy. I'm running for Chrysanthemum Ball King.
Oh! Cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching,
yeah.
cha-ching!
I have tickets I'm selling.
Yes, tickets. December 3rd.
No. No.
You already bought your dress.
Yeah.
You already bought your dress.
It just so
Okay.
happens December 3rd is my birthday, so I'm going to
really?
win.
Oh,
I'm going to win.
And you know what? Who could be your escort? Trevor, because you already bought the one tuxedo, so you'd be already set, right? So you don't need to ask for escort.
So I'm going to follow the script of the female entrance.
Okay.
My name is Bo Mahoy. I'm an alumni, Maui High, H. Poco campus.
Oh!
No, not really. I'm a Catholic school refugee from Honolulu, St. Louis.
Oh.
But my escort tonight is Tamlyn. She's from the island of La.
Of La? Yes. This is true.
And I'm just so honored to be able to stand next to her,
what
watch
you
her
talking
do her thing up at the podium. And the one thing that she did was make sure that everybody at the table said aloha to each other. And so now what we're going to do is come through the room.
Come through the room and just
extend that energy to your table.
Yes.
And the way we're going to do that is we're going to ask you to raise your hand if you have a question. I'm going to come up to you and have the mic close to you so you can introduce yourself. And always say the connection of why you're here to honor the Nisei veteran. Now, you can be a real young person like all those people and still yet in high school and go, I'm the great-granddaughter of whatever. But show us the connection. So I'm going to give you an example of that. I'm going to be the question. I'm going to ask the question.
Okay.
My name is Bo Mahoy. This is true. I was the mailman for the 442nd headquarters at 933 Wili Street, Honolulu, 96826 for 7 years.
Wow.
And my question, and do not ask these kind of personal questions to Tamlyn.
I told you.
What is your PIN? What is your PIN number at Central Pacific Bank? And
you know what? I'll tell you something. My PIN number is Go Shishi Go. I use that PIN number because, when I try to teach my nieces and nephews, it's like, you got to learn Japanese too. Ichi, ni, san, shi, go. And then all the time, every parent knows this. They say, hey, go shishi go now. Before you go on a trip, before you go outside shopping, right? So every kid knows that, and it's like easy, right? So
I went Catholic school. So let's open it up to the room.
No,
if you
be
have
shy.
a question, no be shame. Be
No,
a
be
vocal
shame.
local. This is your chance.
This is your chance.
You have a question,
'Cause
raise your hand.
we really do want to
Remember,
make that
the way it
connection.
goes is introduce yourself. Tell us your connection.
Someone's calling somebody out here.
And one more thing. The cameras are over here.
Yeah.
So face
Hey,
here.
how you doing?
It's okay. I never put makeup, so it's okay. Yeah.
This is Bo Mahoy. He's running for Chrysanthemum Queen. Yes. chrysanthemum ball at December 3rd. Yes.
Come to the crowning,
Come to
December
the crowning,
3rd.
yes.
Okay.
Any questions?
Right here.
You were calling somebody out. You said, there's
Somebody had a
somebody here at the
question here.
table? What? You give me stick eye right now.
Guy.
What? I feel him, man.
I know this guy. This guy's name is Guy.
Oh, guy, serious? So easy, huh? Oh.
Oh, jeez.
So it must be easy for the girls. They go, hey, I like this guy.
No.
I said, oh, he's so cute. Yeah. No. We don't need to put
Okay,
you on the spot.
okay,
I was
okay,
just
okay.
making joke. Yeah.
Your connection. Don't forget that. Your
Excuse me.
connection to
Excuse
the
me.
music.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
Oh, to Dana.
All right.
Oh, thank you, Dana.
Dana is a good friend
Okay.
and a husband. But anyway, the question I asked is the Nisei. Nisei.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we celebrate it more?
You know what? One wonderful question. And I have another short story to tell. David Ono, who is the anchor for ABC Channel 7 News, he just did 3 screenings of a wonderful, I want to say documentary, but it's more than that, called Defining Courage, the story about the Nisei vets. And realizing through that documentary, we are so, as JAs, as AJAs, I rewatched the 100th documentary by Bob Jones, One Puka Puka, and he called them Americans of Japanese ancestry, AJAs. When we call ourselves, when we say Niseis, it's like, that's a great Japanese American term, recognizing that we're second generation, that our Issei fathers and mothers, our grandparents, or Jichan Bachans, came to America, made that decision to plant their seeds here, becoming the first Americans, correct? The first generation. And the Niseis take a step back and say, we're the Niseis. What I realize is that Niseis apply to every American. It's second generation. We all come from someplace else, unless you're Native Hawaiian or Native American, First Nations people, I call them. So we all come from Japan or from Asia. It's like, we're all really Niseis. So when we call ourselves Nisei, it sometimes kind of separates us from everybody else. When we're going, we're all Americans. That's what all those boys were fighting for. We're Americans, brah. We come from Hawaii. We fight for the red, white, and blue. This is the kind of thinking that I think we need to adjust. It's like, we're Americans. You want to come bother me and ask me where my parents come from, where my Jichan comes from? Sure, you can ask, but I'm an American. See me for who I am. So I think that pride, that kind of connection with other Americans, despite what we look like, is more stronger in saying Niseis mean Americans, and that they are the ones who are born here, but we honor where we come from. So I think that is the power of what the Nisei story can be. And is to take pride and to say, I come from Nisei boys who fought for our land despite their families being incarcerated, being imprisoned, being jailed for who they are. And that is a testament to the fault of our country, but also to the accountability of our country. And our country was great enough to say, I'm sorry, we're sorry, we have redress, we have reparations, and we will go on.
I'm not worried about the rest of the country.
Yeah.
I just care about all people.
You gotta go, we gotta go, talk story.
I like to celebrate it more than just one time a year.
Yeah.
Oh,
Go.
definitely.
Go,
Right.
go, go, go. That's why, again, the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, having all those programs that Deidre's putting together is wonderful. And sometimes it doesn't have anything to do with the contributions of our soldiers. It just has to do with our culture. And it's like, hey, there's really good things about being JA. So let's continue to support those gathering places, those places of where Ohana can gather and really talk story and share and connect. Yeah?
Ooh, big hand. Wow. Okay.
See, I told you I could talk a lot, but.
All right. Oh, okay. So
Yes.
Tamlyn's answers are so thorough. We have time for one more question.
Already? Oh!
No. I'm just kidding. Okay.
Ew.
Hey. In this day and age, when you put the two words question and answer together,
Yes.
our young generation, the word that comes to mind is Google. And if they want to get an A+ on their term paper, the next word is Wikipedia.
Wiki.
So what's
wiki,
really
wiki.
nice about this, tying into the music that Zeke had at the very beginning, the 1940 kind of music, this is a retro question and answer arena that we're in. And I'm going to ask one of the younger persons in the audience
Fantastic.
for a question. And I think I'm going to pick on Emi Sato.
Okay,
I've given
Emi
you her
Sato.
name, but she still has to tell us her connection.
Yes.
And then her question.
Okie dokie.
Hi, I'm Emmy Sato.
Yes, Emmy.
I'm running for Chrysanthemum Festival. this
Yes,
year.
we know.
My queen, right here. Yeah.
My question is, how did you discover your passion for acting and storytelling?
Because I wanted to become a history teacher. So what is history? History. So knowing that I can tell a story means I get the fun about researching. So this is before Google and Wikipedia. I had to go to the encyclopedia and look up the stories of the 100th, of the 442. And do you know how hard it was to find the stories of the women? So when Lane Nishikawa asked me to participate in his film, Only the Brave, which is screening at the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center tomorrow, he brought us to Hawaii to the Club 100 over there in Honolulu, right across the street from Iolani, right, Shane? Not Punahou, it's right across the street from Iolani.
520 Kamoku Street.
There you go.
Mailman.
Thank you. U.S. Postal Service through rain, sleet, and snow. But hey, there's snow on Hawaii. Yes, on the Big Island, it's what most people don't know. But so when I went to the Club 100, there were the wives of some of the boys there, and they told me what it was like to be the wife. So talking story is asking these kinds of questions. This is why the reason why I wanted to ask Deidre and say, hey, can I just talk story with people and answer questions they might have? This is the reason why. Talking story is what acting is. Celebrity is a byproduct. If you want to be a celebrity, that's great because that's another kind of job and that's hard work as well. But being an actor is about telling the story, finding where you come from to where you want to go. So that's it.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Now, when I walked in this direction, I didn't see any hands go up, so I thought I'd come all the way to this end of the room and see if I'm missing hands going up. Because
Yes,
if not,
Sadine. Yes.
I'm going to pick on somebody. I'm going to pick on...
I got Sadine.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
I have to say, I met Tamlyn at the door, and she remembered my name. You have an incredible memory. Yeah. So I'm Sadine. My connection with the Nisei, I'm proudly a former board member. But the values of the Nisei vets, I hope, can carry through to the next generation, my children, and so that's why I support the Nisei vets. Thank you. Yeah. So my question is, it's a rather serious one, because I have my assumption, because I don't think he is, but I would really like to know if Ralph Macchio is a good kisser.
So, woman to woman, girl to girl.
Turn off the camera.
So in my head, when somebody says good kisser, it's like, oh my God. It's that, oh my. I will tell you that he is a good kisser in a sweet way. He's not, because I've kissed a lot of guys for the work I do. And some of them go, they go. And oh my God, ladies, you know how it feels. It's like, oh my God, it's like, But Ralph is very sweet and very gentle and very tender because he was trying to, because this was a real, true adult kiss versus the Allie with an E, Allie with the Y, sorry, Allie with an I, the first girlfriend. See, I don't care about her because she doesn't matter to me. Right? Everybody says, oh my God, Kumiko. But he was very sweet. And I will, again, attest to the fact that Ralph is the one who really stuck to his guns about maintaining the spirit of Mr. Miyagi and Pat Morita. And looking at their table decorations, do you all know what these are called in Italy? So what do we call these, the Japanese Americans? You know what we call this fruit? Persimmons, right? In English. But do you know the Japanese word? Kaki, right? Do you know that's the same word in Italy? Look it up. Because when I went to Italy, I saw farms of persimmon trees. And I asked the interpreter, I go, hey, are those persimmon trees? I didn't say that in Hawaiian side. I go, excuse me, sir. Prego, prego. Scusi. They're persimmon trees because I think he said they did come over from Japan. In my idea, but again, being here in this moment in time, being in the place where Pat Morita was so close to, the Boys of 100th and Club 100th and the 442 and all he's done for Japanese American veterans, I have it in my head that I need to talk to the Cobra Kai creators as to the legacy of Mr. Miyagi, because we know from the fact in Karate Kid that he's a Medal of Honor winner, that he's from Okinawa, that his wife and baby child died in Manzanar, and he was incarcerated in Manzanar, and he fought in World War II. So I have it in my mind that I need to talk to the creators to say, maybe Mr. Miyagi fought in Italy, and that's why he has such a close connection to Daniel LaRusso. So I will say, I will try my best, because I've just told that into public, because that's the connection. and I told it to all the Maui vets, so they're all expecting it, that this is the kind of connection as to why we need to know the legacy of Mr. Miyagi, because everybody loves that scene where Pat Morita just lovingly spilled his heart out in that drunken mess where, little Daniel-san found that Medal of Honor. So knowing those connections, knowing those points, makes logical sense too. So reminding myself of seeing the kaki and seeing kaki in Italian is that there could be that possibility of connection. So that's why, again, I'm here to say, you got to hold me, my feet to the fire to say, hey, Cobra Kai directors, Cobra Kai creators, let's connect the Italian and the Japanese connection to the series of Cobra Kai. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much. We can listen to Tamlyn all evening. I mean, I could. I've been watching her movies, so I can catch up on some that I missed. I'm not the Cobra Kai, but I remember her as being Waverly in the Joy Luck Club.
Oh, the bitchy girl.
And so
the bitchy daughter. See, it's like, oh, she's such a sweet. Oh yeah. Oh, you don't remember? Yeah, I was the one who said. I was the one who took the good crab. Yeah. You don't want to mess with me. I know. Yeah, I know. But thank you. Yeah. Are we wrapping it up?
We're going to move on to the awards. Everyone, a big hand for Tamlyn.
But again, yes.
Tomita.
Thank you so very much. And I look forward to whatever other questions, because I think my heart is here in Maui. And I just want to share my aloha here and forever. And thank you so very much for your time, for your attention, and much more importantly, for your love. Arigato honto ni, mahalos, maraming salamat. Thank you so very much.
Who is HouseSmart? HouseSmart is a locally owned company that's been around for over 64 years, serving all of Hawaii's communities.
You probably know us better as Hawaii's favorite craft store, Ben Franklin Crafts.
Or as the Ace Hardware stores on Kauai, Maui, and Hawaii Island.
We've been helping generations of Hawaii's families get what they need for their craft and DIY projects.
And we plan on helping you for generations to come.
So, mahalo Hawaii for supporting our family of HouseSmart stores.
Thank you so much, Tamlyn, for your inspiring words and for being here with us tonight for that awesome Q&A session. Two of the questions were volunteered, Say's one especially being very, very funny. But even more funny was seeing Uncle Guy really put on the spot there. Where is Uncle Guy? At the bar. He needs a drink. But honestly, thank you, Uncle, for that awesome question. And Tamlyn, thank you for the inspiring answer. On behalf of the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center, please accept this small gift as a token of our appreciation. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, wow. You need to take one picture then. You know what it felt like? It felt like Pretty Woman.
Thank you again, Tamlyn. She has like a crazy busy schedule, and we really appreciate you taking the time come down to our small. Hey, you did not bad for a small kind LA girl, right? Get some local. Pretty impressed. And thank you for coming in person, because you really made Grant's childhood dreams come true. I was a little bit worried that he was going to bust into some lyrics about the man who will fight for your honor or be the hero of your dreams. I wasn't quite sure, but nobody wanted to hear him sing that, so thank God he didn't. But at this time, someone we would like to hear from, our board member, Jan Yoguchi, to talk about some real heroes, the everyday heroes that we're going to announce tonight for our Hero Awards. So, Jan? Oh, there she is.
Hi, everyone. Okay, at a luncheon in 1952, Club 100 veterans adopted "For Continuing Service" as their slogan. Having served their nation in war, the veterans sought to continue the tradition of service to their communities, state, and country. On every island, veterans engaged their communities, making the islands a better place for all. On Maui, "For Continuing Service" was one of the inspirations for building the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center as a living memorial to provide service to the community in perpetuity. A few years ago, to help recognize the positive impact of Maui's best, the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center established the Hero Awards to recognize those current-day heroes who continue to serve their community. Tonight, we honor 3 Maui individuals to the areas of leadership, philanthropy, and legacy. During World War II, the Nisei soldiers inspired America as the Army's gold standard and showed the world what it meant to go for broke. When the Nisei veterans returned from war, they continued to lead the Maui community with the strength of their character and the integrity of their actions. This award recognizes individuals who have led Maui County forward with the leadership style of the Nisei. Please help me welcome Bo Mahoy to present the award, the Leadership Award, sponsored by the Central Pacific Bank Foundation. Or Uncle Mike. Oh, and Uncle Mike. Thank you, Uncle Mike. Oh. You let me sell for you. I go help you.
Yeah, boy.
Let me help.
In case anybody need tickets,
I
both
help you.
selling tickets.
I help you.
Support the chrysanthemum ball queens to be. Okay. She is a combination of Nancy Drew and Hawaii's most famous detective, Chang Apana, the inspiration of fictional Asian gumshoe, Charlie Chan. Toss in a sprinkle of Dick Tracy and a pinch of Sherlock Holmes, and you have Janna Livesey Hoehn. A Maui resident, Janna was on a mission deemed impossible. The mission she decided to accept realizes the Vietnam Veteran Memorial Fund's goal of providing a picture and a story for every name listed on the Vietnam Veteran Memorial in Washington, D.C. Janna was the first to complete a county in the entire United States. Her sleuthing techniques include contact with the immediate family, extended family, friends, classmates, local newspapers, the high school librarian, military buddies, anyone who could be a resource to complete her mission. Word spread quickly throughout Hawaii and then the mainland of her success and devotion. GI Janna marched through the continent, helping state after state achieve the photo and story of their respected hometown heroes and sheroes. In mid-2022, Janna and her team of volunteers across our country finished the impossible, all 58,000 plus photographs. Janna accelerated her Maui veteran involvement, becoming the first non-veteran president of the Maui County Veterans Council. Well beyond her duties as president, Janna personally visits sick veterans at their homes. She greets current wounded warriors arriving at Kahului Airport on vacation with Maui veterans and civic leaders in tow. And this was one of them. Yukile was another one. Civic leaders in tow. Okay. If Janna was in a military uniform, she certainly would be sporting the rank of general or admiral. Under her watch, no veteran is forgotten. Ladies and gentlemen, Janna Livesey Hoehn. Come on.
Ladies and gentlemen, over 50,000 photos to complete the project.
I wasn't going to try to cry. Bo, thank you so much. I'm not sure what to say about his kind words. I'm sorry. So in 2008, my husband and I went to Washington, D.C., and the first thing on my list to see was the Vietnam Memorial, because that was the war that was going on my entire high school years. And when I got there, I did not know anyone personally. I was a little bit young. My high school young men that died in Vietnam were a little older than I was, so I didn't know them personally. But I wanted to take a rubbing. And I scoured the wall, and if you have not been there, it's monumental. Huge. And there's 58,276 names on the wall. And I chose one of them. I didn't know. And when I got home, I decided I was going to try to find his family, because I thought maybe they did not ever get to go to the wall. And I did try, and that was before I knew how to research. So I didn't find them. But I did ask my cousin, who was our family historian, if there was any way that we could find a picture, just because I was curious to what this young man looked like. And he was a pilot. He is still MIA, 54 years. And again, I didn't find his family, but she was able to find his photograph in a university, what do you want to call it? A yearbook, I'm sorry. And the minute I got the picture, you know, I just was in tears. I mean, all these young men went over there and gave their lives for our country. And with the Vietnam War, they didn't come back with honor. It wasn't right. And so I just made a scrapbook page, and, you know, I had his picture, I had his profile, and that rubbing. 2 years later, one of our news teams had a story about the Wall of Faces in Washington, D.C., and they wanted to find a photograph for each and every fallen on the wall. And I had a picture of Gregory John Crossman. So it was before I knew how to scan an email. So I had to go to Office Max and get a copy, come back to Keyhay, mail it to Washington, D.C., and a week later, I got a phone call from Jan Scruggs, the founder of the Vietnam Wall. And he said, I understand you're from Maui. Thank you so much for sending that photograph. We didn't have a photograph of that young man. Now, the project had only been about 2 years at that point, and I knew nothing about this project. I just wanted to see what this young man looked like. So Jan asked for my help with Maui, and I was so honored. So what I thought would be a very easy project was not. I scoured this island. I spent time at the old Maui High School. I just went everywhere. I did find some of the families. The Maui News was incredible. They just did story after story after story until I got all 42. And it took me 6 months. And when the 6 months was over, I was elated that it was done. But I enjoyed the process so much, meeting all of these wonderful, beautiful Gold Star families that lost their loved one, that I wanted to continue. So I started with my hometown in California, and then I thought, well, I'll do the next little town, and then the next little town. And then I said, I'm doing the whole state. So I did. And I did it with the help of newspapers. Even though that I didn't live there, they did my story. And if it wasn't for the newspapers, we still wouldn't have them all. But I went from county to county, from state to state, and I covered most of the United States. I had a lot of help. I did not do this by myself. Every state that I had a newspaper article come out in, a volunteer would say, you know, I want to help you. This is awesome. I want to help you with my town. And they'd run to the library for me, they'd go to the high school, and they would go through the books. And I just wasn't sure we were ever going to finish it. And Jan Scruggs said to me, now, Janna, I know your heart's in this and you're very dedicated, but he said, I don't want you to be disappointed. He says, we're probably not going to find them all. And I said, well, you might not. And I got to say that out loud to him again on August 5th when the last photo came in. So. So I got involved with the Maui County Veterans Council, and things just kind of snowballed. I became their secretary, and then again, as Bo said, I've been their president for almost 4 years now, and I have met some of the most amazing people through this journey. And the Nisei are some of the most incredible people that I have ever met. Leonard Oka came to me and said, I'd like you to speak at our 2014 memorial service. And I said, Leonard, I didn't like history, and I don't know anything about the World War II, just, Vietnam. And he goes, you can do it. He handed me a book that was at least this thick, and he said, go read it. And I did. It took me 4 days, and I took lots of notes, and I gave my little speech, and I had the honor of having, there had to have been at least 15 of the 442nd, 100th, and it was such an honor. And what you folks have done with the Memorial Center is amazing. You're so dedicated, and you made this happen. And I always have said, why don't daycare centers have older people as well, where they can have the intergeneration? And you did it, and it's been successful. And I just so admire all of you. And I've received quite a few awards for this, which is such an honor. This one means a great deal to me, and I just appreciate you all so much. And I want to thank my husband for allowing me for 11 years to work on this project, because my heart and soul are the veterans. And so thank you all so much for this incredible honor.
Thank you, Janna. That was an amazing story. It's pretty inspirational as far as the perseverance and selflessness. How about another hand there for Janna, please? I'd like to call up another amazing young lady, Ms. Dana Young, who is a board member and VP of HouseSmart, who will be presenting the Philanthropy Award. There she is. I get a hard time with that word.
Thank you, Trevor.
The generous yet quiet style of the Nisei generation often meant their philanthropic deeds stayed out of the spotlight. This award brings attention to those in our community who are quietly and selflessly working to benefit the Maui community. HouseSmart is honored to sponsor this award. Our recipient this evening is the epitome of philanthropy. Zenshin Daiko is a nonprofit organization that is dedicated to teaching taiko to children and sharing it with the community. Since forming in March 1999, Zenshin Daiko, led by Anthony Jones, has performed in over 1,000 cultural and community events all over Maui and on the neighbor islands. Zenshin Daiko doesn't charge for performances at many events, but put on by other nonprofit organizations, schools, churches, and community organizations. Zenshin Daiko has also performed across the US mainland and even Japan. They have performed at such prestigious events as the International Taiko Stars Concert at the Waikiki Shell, the North American Taiko Conference's Taiko Jam Concert in Los Angeles and Las Vegas. Zenshin Daiko was also honored to perform in Japan at the Hachigo Summer Festival and the Estacia Taiko Concert in Kanagawa, Japan in 2014. They also performed for the groundbreaking of the Stanley Izumigawa Resource Center and again at the opening. Please help me welcome the Zenshin Daiko performers, Mirahi Oka, Meiko Kurokawa, Kaimalino Kajang, Brevin Nishimitsu, Autumn Ogata, Summer Ogata, Aliyah Orikasa, Kalissa Orikasa, Jaden Santiago, Nikki Toyama, and Colton Orikasa to the stage. I was in alphabetical order. Ms. Mirahi Oka and Meiko Kurokawa will share some remarks with us.
Good evening. My name is Meiko Kurokawa. When my mom told me I needed to write an acceptance speech for the Nisei Veterans Philanthropy Award, I had to look it up. What does a philanthropist do? According to Google, a philanthropist is a person who donates time, funds, skills, or talent to help create a better world. With that being said, we are so honored.
Hi, my name is Mirahi Oka. I love learning taiko and performing for the community. Whether it's in Wailuka or Hana, Texas or Japan, we all have so much fun performing at cultural events. Our group consists of approximately 40 members ages 5 to 15. What some may not realize is that Zenshin Daiko teaches taiko exclusively to children. Zenshin translates to forward. While we appreciate traditions from the past, we are always moving forward, looking at the future and having fun. On behalf of all the members of Zenshin Daiko, thank you to the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center and their board members for recognizing us as philanthropists.
Zenshin Daiko would like to recognize a few special guests with us tonight. Mr. Bill and Jean Uemura, who helped start our taiko group, and former parents Mrs. April Gu and Mr. Kurt Ibarra, who has continued to tirelessly help Zenshin Daiko with drum repairs and concert support for many years. We would also like to thank our parents and families for for always supporting us and our taiko journey. And lastly, although Zenshin Daiko is a student-focused program, all of this would not be possible without the dedication, love, and support of Uncle Tony and Auntie Val. They kept Zenshin Daiko going for the past 23 years. They are the true philanthropists of our group. Can we all please take a moment to recognize Uncle Tony and Auntie Val?
Is he gonna come up?
Uncle Tony, would you like to come with us up on stage?
Come here, Anthony. Don't take your own pizza. Anthony. Tony, I had to speak out because I found your name, Anthony Jones. Thank you so much.
What do you think? I think the future is in really good hands. Zenshin Daiko was so involved with the building of the Stanley Izumigawa Resource Center. They were there when we did the blessing, and then they were there when we did the enclosure, and they were here this evening, and they are just wonderful members of our community and so deserving of the Philanthropy Award. And how about Meiko and Mirahi? Wonderful speeches. To present our next and final award of the evening, our Legacy Award, please welcome NVMC board member Ms. Catherine Shimizu to the stage.
Maya Angelou once said, "If you're going to live, leave a legacy. Make a mark on the world that can't be erased." That is exactly what our Nisei veterans did. The Nisei went to war as victims, but came back as heroes. The Nisei who were incarcerated, who suffered pain and sacrifice, continued to dream big and change the world they lived in. Valerie Matsunaga is a daughter of the late Toshio Kubota, Private First Class, 442nd Regimental Combat Team, Company K, and Misao Kubota. Many of our Nisei veterans, particularly my residents, including her father, occupied and fought in Italy, in the municipality of Castellina at Hill 140, known as Little Casino. During the November 2014 Nisei Veteran Annual Dinner, Val was presented with her father's oral history. This sparked her curiosity and resulted in an excursion with friends on a trip to Italy to retrace his journey and take Hill 140. The journey was published in an issue of Okage-sama Day in February 2015. An internet discovery of this article resulted in a local Italian historical group from Tuscany near Castellina in Italy called Toscana 44, contacting her in February 2021 for assistance with a documentary commemorating the battle at Hill 140. Val will continue to share the Nisei legacy to future generations through stories and living the life representative of the Nisei values. After retiring from Kaiser Permanente as a pharmacist for 35 years, Val is now an instructor at UHMC Pharmacy Technician Program to foster up and coming pharmacists, and coaches the new powerlifting athletes at Hawaii Performance Athletics. Val's interests include film and TV industry production, Olympic weightlifting, yoga, and always continuing to serve others. Please welcome Valerie as a recipient of the 2022 Legacy Award.
Legacy, according to Google, is something that is passed on. So the story is it started with Dad's oral history, then a trip to Italy with friends, curiosity and an excursion to take Hill 140, and then telling the story that was published in Okage-sama Day, the Nisei Veteran Memorial Center newsletter. It's also published on the internet. So a little bit of context here. Hill 140, as Kathy mentioned, is also known as Little Casino because of the overwhelming casualties that the 442nd and the 100th suffered because of the German resistance that was present. That day on July 7, when the German resistance was taken down, and the hill came under control of the United States. My father suffered a wound by a shell fragment in his left thigh, and he lost his leg that very day. For continuing service, you heard that. Upon returning to Hawaii in 1952, returning veterans of the 100th and 442nd wanted to give back to their communities for continuing service, to make the world better for future generations and to share that wider message of peace. So this year in May of 2022, when Hill 140 was commemorated by the municipality of Castellina, the veterans' wish lived on. These were the words given to me, and this message was conveyed to the mayor of Castellino and serving as your ambassador, along with words of aloha from our own dear Mayor Victorino. There was a commemorative event where efforts to create an educational walking path at the site at Hill 140 are currently underway. Shout out to my travel partner there who encouraged me. Come on, Val, as we climbed Hill 140 in our ceremonial clothes. Yeah. She's also my Olympic weightlifting partner, by the way, Dr. Linda Wynn. Come on, Linda. Yeah. We witnessed that German trenches were excavated, cave openings were unearthed, and a path that was created on the hill was finished. There was also a traveling exhibition with original excavation material of that battle. So therefore, continuing the unending legacy circle, I have the honor of presenting to the Nisei veteran, Deidre, soil from Hill 140. Yeah. Where are you? Soil from Hill 140. And these are actual metal fragments that were excavated by Toscana 44. And I'm going to pass on this medallion that has the insignia of the Go for Broke, as well as Toscana 44, commemorating that Memorial Day ceremony in May of 2022. So here you go. I also bought a shadow box from Ben Franklin, by the way. But our training session ran long today, so I didn't have a chance to mount it. So it's okay. No, really, that's really what happened. Okay, so it is through hope and continuing to promote worldwide and these lifelong relationships around the globe. It's such as this that I'm grateful to be considered worthy of this recognition. Yeah. Pressing forward, guys, in 2 years, in July 2024, which will commemorate the 80th anniversary of the liberation of Italy, plans are forging ahead full throttle for a reunion commemorative celebration. And this is an open invitation to all of you and anyone interested to return to witness further progress on the restoration and educational efforts that are taking place at Hill 140 and the surrounding areas. Minasama domo arigatou gozaimasu.
Thank you, Valerie. These are incredibly precious and special items that will go into our Nisei Veterans Memorial Center archive and will come out for exhibits so that everybody can enjoy them. Yes, Melanie? Absolutely. Yeah. So thank you very much and congratulations.
We're your local grocer that grew up right along with you. Our managers are from Maui, raised on the same foods you know and love. That's why you'll always find a wide variety of local and ethnic brands for family recipes, as well as fresh produce, select quality meats, and an entire aisle for gatherings. Cooking family meals is affordable with Maui's locally owned grocer.
Island Grocery Depot. For what's cooking on Maui.
We want to thank all our sponsors, Central Pacific Bank Foundation, HouseSmart, and Arizumi Brothers for making this all possible. And we want to thank the recipients who won tonight for making Maui such a special place. Maui truly is Noko'oi because of our heroes from yesteryear and today. So how about a big hand for all of them? So we're about to close, but I just gotta say this because Tamlyn made a comment. She gave the Uchinon power cheer, right? And so I'm half Uchinon Chu. And I just gotta say this. All my Okinawan friends, they just call me half a man because I'm only half Uchinon Chu. And all my Japanese friends, they just think I'm short and hairy. So I'm just screwed here. But anyways, that's my story there.
That's a great story, and we're so glad you shared it. The evening is coming to an end, but it's been very, very special. We want to share a couple. Oh, see, they turned you off. Okay, no more jokes. No more jokes from Trevor. That's right. So a few last-minute housekeeping items. Please see the ladies in the back to collect your silent auction items if you haven't already. And as you leave this evening, every couple and every individual will be gifted with a print of local artist and legacy family Bailey Onaga's Wailuku Town art piece. And if you haven't seen the recent one, she updated it. The Wailuku art piece, she updated it with the Nisei Veterans Memorial Center Go for Broke sign. So everyone will get one when you leave tonight. So again, thank you. That's our way just to say thank you so much for all you have done.
And again, each table has a beautiful orchid kokedama centerpiece. These are for sale, and they were $50, but now special deal because you are here in person, $30. So please go back there, go back and see Diane Orikasa, and she'll give you a receipt for that.
And these kokedama were made by the ADK Gamma chapter, so a big round of applause to the ladies who funded and made these kokedama for us.
Except Mr. Motooka, you get yours free, brother. Yeah, his is free.
Right, yeah. So no, Mr. Motooka doesn't have to pay for anything. Anyway, it has been a true pleasure standing here with you this evening and sharing this podium, Trevor.
And you, Deidre. Next time I'll remember to wear my heels. So we're about again, we want to thank our sponsors and our guests and our volunteers and everyone who made this possible.
Yeah, and a big mahalo again to our wonderful keynote speaker, Tamlyn Tomita. How awesome was that she came down off the stage and walked around and answered all those questions. We love you. Please come to the center on Sunday for Shane Sato's talk, lecture, book signing, and then the opening of the exhibit, The Goal for Broke Spirit. It's all 14 of Maui's veterans. We're so lucky to have Shane here with us this evening, his wife Claire as well.
Good night. Drive safe. Thank you.